interesting. But here we go, Rus versus Mongols. Welcome to game number 4 of this EGC Winner Stays On series between Hera and Vortix. Vortix is the defending champion and is currently up 2-1 in this series. Hera looking to tie it up if he can win in this round. We do have a Vortix playing as the Rus up against Hera's Mongols, and the map here is Nagari. So of course there's that pond in the middle, if you want to call it a pond, and there's 2 ponds in the corners of the map. So a lot of options how to play this. 2 civilizations that are quite strong on the water. Rus can of course convert those fishing boats. We could have Mongols towers, early pressure, all of that stuff we know we can see. Lidakor, what do you think is going to happen here?
So the first thing that you have to look at with this map is that there is multiple ways that this map can spawn. Sometimes the pawns are very close to players, so the players spawn close to corners, and then the pawn spawns behind them. And sometimes you see what we are seeing right now, that we have 2 neutral pawns sort of in the middle of the map. This completely changes up the way that's played, because if you have pawns close to each player's base, in many cases players will go for the safe option and just not even contest the middle. But in this case, your best bet is probably to go for the middle pawn. Notice how Vortex popped out an extra scout with the Rus. There is multiple reasons why he's doing that. So, first things first, obviously, he's playing Rus. So he's going for the huntables, he's going for the bounty. Second, when you play hybrid maps, you want to invest into your dock at the beginning, so you're not really going for that hunting cabin. But there's a third reason as well. Hera could also go for a second scout from his town center to just try to burn that dock down. Because with the Mongols, your play on this map is burning stuff down, and it looks like Hera's gonna do that with Spearmen. Vortex will know about that, so wouldn't be surprised to see a barracks being added here by Vortex, trying to just minimize the amount of damage that those spears can do, although we have to keep something in mind. It's one thing that you burn down the dock of the Rus here, it's a different thing that you prevent them from fishing, because they don't need to drop off their fish. So the only thing that Hera is able to accomplish by destroying that dock is getting the bounty for himself, but he won't be able to stop his opponent from fishing entirely.
Yeah, and another thing to note, I don't think it's going to happen here, as we see Vortex killing the deer right in front of Hera's base. Spearmen can actually one-shot deer, so I've used them sometimes with Delhi to kill deer and then start walling up. But yeah, we'll see if he runs down after that dock. He obviously knows that a scout ran by, so Vortex is aware of that. You see him dropping that wooden fortress, which is a great counter to it. Hera maybe looking like to try to do, there we go, that villager getting caught by the scout, probably trying to do some kind of tower rush, but Vortex is very aggressive with the scouts, as we know, and is going to start dealing plenty of damage there.
Spearman now coming out here for Hera. That's going to scare those scouts back here. But you do have a tower up, as you said, on the dock of Vortex. And Vortex also has a couple of villagers out here, so you can garrison them. I don't think that Hera can take down the towers. And you see, Vortex is moving in for the hunt. He's already at 200 bounty. Should be able to get to that tier 2, and that's what matters for him.
Yep, there we go. Getting all that, those deer, getting that bounty up. Looks like he's going to the north. Is he going to drop a dock, possibly? I see Hera moving. I think that's what he's maybe going to do. Yeah.
Yeah, Hera's going for the dock out there. Now, the problem here for Hera is that he's already behind in dock numbers. So you see, Vortex is already on deep fish here. And of course, the other thing to consider is that this small pond has way less deep fish than the one in the middle. So, long term, that central area is much more valuable for Vortex.
Yeah, man, I just worried. I feel like Rus is just like, they've already got their boom, pretty secure, and yes, there's going to be a dock out there to cause some problems, but as Vortex hits the second age, he can just convert those ships and be in a pretty good spot. But I would expect maybe we'll see some towers on that southeast shore, unless Vortex is able to deny them.
Vortex is just 5 food short, or 5 bounty. Actually, 10 bounty, never mind. Math is not my strength anymore. It used to be my power at the first game. I was like, okay, math's this, math that, but now subtracting 240 from 250 actually causes me trouble. Anyways, he's 10 bounty away from that level 2. He kind of needs to grab that. There is actually one more deer over here that is just what he needs. He also younks a villager on the north, so he has to be happy with that.
Yep. So that dock got built, right, to the north? He did finish that?
Yep.
Okay, so he did finish that. So he has his fishing boats coming out. So I think for right now, I feel like Hera has to do something to put some pressure on Roos. Because as far as eco wise, I feel like Roos is ahead and is going to be very quickly moving through the ages. And as like, do you think Vortex will go straight for the third age and go for the horse archers, or what do you think you might do here as we age up?
I think the first thing for him to do is making sure that his fishing eco is safe. And from
Yeah.
that point on, he can just play a semi-fast castle build simply because he's gonna have a ton of food income. So really, it doesn't take a lot of time for him to get to castle. Now, I love how he walled off his fishing eco for multiple reasons. Partly because this also allows villagers to stay here on the shorefish. And while the fishing ships don't get out really fast from the shorefish, villagers do. So that's actually a lot of food income as well. Not only from the fishing eco, with the fishing ships, but also from the villagers. Oh,
Yes. Oh, is there? Oh, I thought,
Nope.
I thought there's a hole.
I got jebaited too. I got jebaited. That's a big ball of spearmen though, but only Dark Age spearmen, so I don't think that Vortex has to be very stressed about that just yet, although his woodline is a little exposed over here.
Yeah, what? I don't know what they're gonna be able to do unless he like sneaks a villager over and starts building towers or something. Maybe just looking to pick up anything on the outskirts, or he could just walk all the way around to the other side of the pond. I don't know what they're gonna do. Good the gold, but they don't need that.
Now, Hera's gonna be able to deny Vortex's gold, which could be troublesome. You got the Golden Gate working for you, so not the end of the world. You can sell your excess food that you have with your fish. But obviously that's not gonna be super sustainable. Knowing that Hera is very heavy on the spearman, wouldn't be surprised to see Vortex dropping a range, getting 2 or 3 archers out just to make sure that he can secure that gold mine.
Yeah, I like to point out, like, look at Vortex's base, how he built that wall. We see this at a lot of players, this kind of like spider web walling, where the whole purpose of that is just to make it so his spearmen can't run straight into his wall line, and they're obviously not going to walk close to that town center. So little wall segments like this can really make a little difference, and it's a very small investment to make.
Absolutely. That basically prevents those spearmen from harassing those lumberjacks. Now the tower is up, but before the tower was completed, the Vortex went for the walls. Now this gold mine is not safe though, and Vortex has to be careful. Vortex?
You know, you kind of mentioned it. If he can deny the gold, he could stop Roos from just easily converting those ships. But of course, he can trade. He does already have some attack ships. So this is going to get interesting if he's able to deny that gold for any amount of time. So it'll at least be annoying and force those trades.
Absolutely. Hera gets the second dock up here in the middle, but he's likely going to lose that villager out here. He will be able to garrison his fishing ships, though. So now Vortex knows that there is some aggression coming in on that pond. Archers popping out back at home for Vortex to clean up those spearmen. As things stand, there is no gold for Vortex, though, aside from the one that he could get from the Golden Gate. So converting
Forcing
his
that
ships...
wooden fortress.
Absolutely. I don't think that this was really needed for Vortex. He could have just waited a little bit more for those archers, but I don't think it hurts. It's going to help in the long run to protect that gold mine. Still, that delays the transition to combat ships here for Vortex.
Yeah, this is a very interesting way for Hera to kind of answer Roos having the water early on, and I think he's done a little bit of damage just by obviously annoying that gold line, forcing some archers out, forcing that wooden fortress. I mean, this is some value he's been able to get. He does have his 2 docks up, so we'll see if he's able to do any type of water push. Is he training any attack ships? I'm not sure if he is. No, okay.
Nope. Hera just reached feudal age, so he is not coming in with combat ships just yet. And honestly, the problem that Hera's going to be facing is that his opponent already has a ton of food in the bank, and we know what that means with the Rus. It's going to mean Golden Gate.
Yeah, well, I think Hera is also. I think both players are just going to head on up to castle because I think Hera is just going to wait. There's no reason to make his attack ships now. Even actually, if he could, convince Vortex to convert some of his ships, it is a good investment. Whether he converted those or he trained those new, I'm not sure. But for right now, this is really anyone's game. I would say from this point.
Attack ships coming in here right now for Vortex now. If you make your attack ships on the dock, it's a tiny bit cheaper than converting fishing ships into combat ships. The drawback of going for the attack ships on your dock at the beginning, though, is first of all, longer trading time, so you can pop out less ships from 2 docks. And second, you can't use them to fish right at the beginning, whereas if you just go full fishing, you can just convert them whenever you need them.
And it looks like Hera's about to age up. If you look at the macro, he might even age up before Vortex. I don't think Vortex is aging yet. And he's dropping, what are those? Are those barracks and archer range? But we do have, of course, the ships pushing mid, but not going to really get much. There's a tower there that's doing fine, laying out some damage. He's lost maybe a fishing boat. So a big investment on Vortex's side. And if we have some demo ships come out as Hera hits the third age, that could change this whole middle pawn situation.
Absolutely, it's very, very tight quarters over here. But this is why I was saying that going for fishing ships here at the beginning is probably better. You see, Vortex can't really push this. So there's no point having 5 combat ships right now. He needs like 1 that's staying in here, seeing when Hera moves in. And when Hera moves in, you convert 10 of your ships into combat ships. So you can just use them to fish, as long as Hera is not actively pushing. As you said, Hera is going up to Castle Age with a step red up, no surprise about that one. And on the other side, Abbey of the Trinity coming in here for Vortex though. So he's gonna go for the relics. 3 of them down south over here. 1 up north and 1 on the far right side.
Yeah, and with that step red out, it's just such a good eco landmark. For those who are not familiar with it, for the Mongols, it acts as a gur, so it's a drop-off point. But when you turn golden, it adds plus 50%. So it is a huge boom to your gold eco, and kind of simulates having extra villagers in a way. So it's a good way for Mongol to really boom up in the Castle Age. We see a lot of archery ranges coming down right now for Vortex. You can only assume there's going to be horse archers, but I don't want to say that quite yet. Maybe we'll see something different here.
From all those archer ranges, I am expecting horse archers, but that would be a bad move here. Because we have seen that more and more that mass foot archers are capable of beating the horse archer play. And if there is one civilization that's really good at massing foot archers, that's the Mongols. You see, Hera is gonna have multiple ranges out and he's just pumping out archers like there is no tomorrow.
Vortex did get to Castle Age first. I wonder if he's training a demo ship, or I guess he could convert. You can convert into a demo ship, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to do that, but is Hera making any demo ships there?
Nope. For Hera, it would make more sense to go for a war junk, because the Lodi attack ships actually have bonus damage against incendiary ships, whereas a war junk would do very well against Lodi attack ships that have very low base HP, so just a couple of those ballista shots and they sink. Oh, look at the hide and seek.
and in the northwest, something's going on too. I'm not sure in the base. It's just the Khan harassing. And there's a few horse archers coming out. So we'll see how much of those he vests in. But Vortex looking to get a little raid here on the gold line of Hera. Interesting, he's not using his step red out. Where's the step red out?
The Redapt is actually on food right now, but there's also Gur nearby, so it's not 100% efficient at this point. When you use your step Redapt, that has to be your only drop-off building nearby to make it maximum efficiency. Hera's gonna lose 2 free vills to those archers. And on the north, now that is a huge demo!
Oh, wow. I didn't even see where that one came from.
Yeah.
Holy cow, where was this dock? Oh my gosh.
I'm just so happy we caught the final moment of that, because you see, on the minimap, it's impossible to spot that little blue dot, and we've been checking every once in a while if there's a dock, and I was fairly certain that Vortex didn't even know about the fishing operation, and then I just clicked there, and it's like, boom.
Yeah, you can't even see on the minimap. Okay, I was like, how did we miss that? Okay, so maybe Hera's gonna, is he gonna answer that mid? Is he gonna make his own demo ships? I don't know. We do have the war junk right now.
There's the demo ship coming in here, and the demo is going to connect.
Oh, man.
Very nice hit. Hera losing the con as well. Hera's got some more war chunks coming in, so this is the time for full demo play from Mr. Vortex.
Demo ships, horse archers, and Mongols. Oh my, says chat. Yeah, I can't agree more. But yeah, this is kind of fun. That was a huge shot up north. Hera needs to get some revenge here. I can't really ever tell what's the demo ship. They all look the same for the Rus.
Yeah, not just for the Rus. They actually look very similar to fishing ships for many civilizations. Now, 1 or 2 demos won't make magic over here, so this is where you want to start converting some of your fishing ships into demos, just so that you can have a nice advantage out here. Horse archers will sneak past Hera's forces now, though. Hera's also moving in with archers, so both players have to be careful about those raids. Vortex going for the sacred sites right now. So far, no relics in that Abbey of the Trinity, though.
Yeah, this is always a map. It's like you could end up just like walking by the enemy's army, which appears to be what has happened here. And we'll have to see. Oh, big demo ship shot. And also, it does look like Hera is going to be clearing off Vortex's sneaky little dock there to the north. I would expect maybe Hera will reboom that water. There's also the southern water that no one has used. He could have possibly go for that, but I don't think they will. But here comes those horse archers taking some shots on the villagers. 1 villager, 2 villagers, 3 villagers. So Hera has lost a lot of vills, especially when you consider that fishing economy.
Absolutely, that is a massive amount of villagers lost, and you see, it's gonna be a little more difficult to defend against those mass horse archers when it comes to raiding than defending against those foot archers. Way less mobility here for Hera. It's easier to clean this up with mangonels as well. So at the end of the day, that has to be satisfying. For Vortix, what's a little more disappointing that he's gradually losing the middle, and he doesn't really have a lot of demos to fight this one right now.
Hera knows how that step readout works, right? Because he doesn't have it on gold. Like, that thing has to be on gold in order to get any advantage from it. And he currently has it on his berries still.
It works well on berries as well. The problem is that there's a gur right next to it, so really...
But that only gives you extra for gold, though, doesn't it?
It should work with every resource. Ooh, it's only gold.
No, it's gold, yeah, so...
For whatever reason, I remembered it's all resources, but that changes things. I think
yeah,
it
me
used to be that
convinced.
way.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. Hera's not really getting the value out of that, losing a lot of villagers, but they're at home. It does look like he's killing the reinforcing horse archers. While we have... Did he clean... Let's see, what's going on in the northeast corner? There's stuff happening everywhere here. He has kind of cornered those horse archers, but also at his base there's something going on.
Yeah, this is just very, very difficult to keep track of because Vortex right now is doing everything he can to just keep raiding with those horse archers, but he's been taking some terrible direct fights. Like, many of his horse archers fell to those foot archers, so he's gonna have to keep raiding. In the middle, his fishing ships are still alive. Hera on the north has some fishing economy. Looks like Hera will mostly clean up the horse archers. Vortex will need something against those archers because Hera's militia numbers are much better right now.
Yeah, and we see that first tree line just about chopped out there for Vortex. I guess he'll be moving north or maybe down southeast. I guess maybe to the east where he will go next. Sacred Site starting to be capped, but we have... Okay, Hera finally able to clean up those horse archers in his base. Surprised, honestly, I don't see more towers right now for Hera because he could get some line of sight and see these raids coming from further away. Mongol towers are cheaper. They give you your speed boost. He has a few, but it could really help him with just seeing where those horse archers are and counter them a little faster.
The problem here for that stubbornness to go for all those cav archers for Vortex that would just die to the horse archers is that he wasn't really able to secure the southern part of the map, so even with that nice castlage timing, he's still at 0 relics. That's just
that's
very
crazy. I can't believe he has no no relics. Typically, they get that right away. So this is actually pretty good for Hera. I mean, if you look at the map right now, he's moving out kind of on both sides and closing in on Vortex's villagers. But of course, Vortex still has a ton of presence on the water. I think Hera's still on the water too. So there's a demo ship. So, man, we could have a huge demo ship explosion there. If he could get one off, it's so narrow on this water.
Hera now moved the step redout towards the gold, but then again, you don't really want the Gur close by because the step redout only gives you a boost in resources if they are dropped off at the redout itself.
Oh boy. Here we go, demo ship. Demo ship for a demo ship and getting some of the roost ships, but I think kind of an even... I don't know if was that an even trade or... I feel like Hera maybe is ahead there because his ships did survive.
Yep, Hera is probably ahead. Now we're seeing knights though, and those could be a difference maker here because Hera so far was pure archers. He's got some spearmen, but really 10-15 knights here could just sweep that army and would secure the southern part of the map for all the relics. That's what Vortex has to go for. Both players with decent amount of resources banked up, but look at that food eco difference. Vortex really capitalizing on all that fish.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, just a big thing we talked... Well, I mean, I think Hera's in a good position, but I'm still just so surprised at him. He built a Gur next to that landmark now. He moved it. He moved it away. There was a Gur there. So he's using it. There we go. So maybe he just missed it for a second. So that gold's coming. What's he building there? There's a bunch of archery ranges or barracks?
Stables.
Stables. Okay, so... I mean, I think he's just going to start raiding Vortex. And as Vortex has pushed off this first wood line, as I think he's, well, not pushed off it, but he's about chopped all of it out, he's got to move out on the map. Oh, there we go. Big demo shot, taking out the rest of the Mongol fleet. And now he can maybe start to think about targeting that dock.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. The Rus demo ships are very, very effective at taking up buildings as well. and they're rather cheap, so you can go for the kill over there, and you should, because as long as Hera is on that water, your fishing eco is not safe. Horse archers all getting cleaned up over here, so now it's just gonna be full Knights play. If it's Knights versus Lancers, though, as we are probably seeing it happen, that should be favoring the Rus here, simply because they will have this stronger food economy at this point.
Yeah. So, I mean, though we've had some big shots back and forth here, I still feel like this is a game for either of these players. Let's see how you know, that we just hit the 20-minute mark here in the Castle Age. Looking at the res in the bank in the top left, lots of food for Vortex. Hera's got a lot of gold, kind of expected with the Stepretta and wood. He could throw some siege in the mix if he wanted to, but that southern pawn's still untouched. Both, let's see, currently uncapping that sacred site. Did he get a relic? I think I heard a relic finally.
Yeah, there is a relic being brought back over here. But what I'm surprised about is that Vortex isn't jumping on these archers. He's actually sending one knight. Oh, that's clever. 1 or 2 knights should be able to sweep this, and the rest of the knights can go and raid. Hera has a second town center now going for him, but all of that wood income is wide open for raiding.
Yeah. Where's Hera getting food right now? Because he lost... I guess he is on that North Sea.
I think he's
Only
got
a few
26
there.
on food.
Somewhere.
Mostly on the hunt over here. And there is some fish. Lancers now coming in, some spearmen also joining the party. But most of Hera's forces are archers, so mass knights could work nicely over here for Vortex.
Yeah, so I think we're going to see just a ton of knight ratings for both players, but it does look like Hera's trying to push on the northwest side. I think he is going to keep pushing in there, and I think there's villagers there, so as he gets closer, but there's also those wooden fortresses to deal with. Has he got the improved siege engineering yet?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, I think he has it. Look at it. Yeah, he can build right out in the field those Springgolds or Mangonel or whatever he wants if he wants to push that emplacement. But lots of raids happening back at Hera's base.
Absolutely. Those knights are being ground down, though, and those are expensive units to lose, so you don't really want to just let them get slaughtered by town center and archer fire. As we are seeing, we got some rams going. We can check out if... we have improved siege engineering or just normal, but it looks like we do have an improved coming in here. The problem for Vortex is that his eco is powerful, but he was just too stubborn going for the horse archers, and he's just now starting to transition to the knights. And that's a problem we are seeing a lot with the Rus. Horse archers are powerful, but especially against mass food archers, they don't perform that great, so... Because of that, Vortex lost a ton of resources invested into horse archers, but he cleans up the middle, so it is now only his pond.
Yeah, he's got complete control of the water, so, I mean, he could even double down on some fishing boats if he wants to. But I think the bigger issue will be this push of rams that's going to be coming up here very, very soon. It does look like Hera was able to clean up all of the raiding forces in his own base. What's going on? It looks like in Vortex's base right now, there's something running around there. To the south, it looks like it may be a raid or something. Oh, just the con. Just the con, doing con things.
Now, Vortex will spot the rams here. And we've talked about this in the previous game. A failed ram push could be very, very costly. So, at this point, what Vortex needs to do probably is go Mangonels or Springgolds, because there's a lot of foot archers here. 2 or 3 Mangonels could help a lot holding this. Now he's on 1 relic, still very, very minimal relic control. For whatever reason, he's going for the sacred sites instead of the relics, which is a little puzzling to me.
Yeah, typically Roos picked those relics up like right away. So it's interesting he's ignored it, or Hera's just has denied it somehow, but it doesn't look like he's under pressure on this outside, so I think he's forgotten.
Yeah, it's a little weird, because having 4 or 5 relics working for you here would be a massive advantage. Currently, Vortex's eco is slightly weaker than Hera's one, in fact. 75 vills for Vortex, 72 for Hera, but of course, Hera's got the step redopt working for him, so Vortex actually needs those relics more than ever.
I see Hera has villagers on gold again there. That town center that's not on the step redout. I don't know why he's doing that, but maybe he just really wants gold, but he's not getting the full value of his landmark there. Maybe he just doesn't want to walk out there. Okay, so here we go. We've got some knights charging forward for the Roos. Are those crossbows behind that? It does look like they are crossbows, which will help deal with the Lancer situation, but archers are a good option for going against those crossbows. Would like to maybe see a Mangonel out of a Hera right now. would be quite nice, but also lots of knights, so I don't know. It could be risky. But he only has lancers really to kite for those knights, so trying to get those archers to focus down the crossbows. They're pretty good against crossbows, but we'll see if his lancers hold on here for this line. There's 3 rams, of course, in jeopardy. I think... who's going to win this fight? I think Vortex is going to win as the lancers die. Yeah, so
the crossbows will focus down the lancers, and then the archers, even though they can take down the crossbows, they'll have a very tough time against those knights. In the end, it's going
almost
to be just
trade.
Mutual annihilation indeed, but that is something that helps Vortex, because now, even if he loses those docks, he could just move to the middle. Remember, he's got all the Loya fishing boats that don't need to drop off the fish, so he doesn't need to sweat this one this much. And he's now picking up relics, so he's finally going for them.
Yeah, I think Hera's army comp needs to maybe adjust a little bit here, because or he just needs to have way more lancers, just because they're just going to continue to push through without something on the front line, and lancers is the only buffer, and it does seem like Vortex has plenty of crossbows to deal with them.
Absolutely, and if those rams go down, that's gonna be almost 1,500 wood going down the drain here for Hera. So even though he destroyed the docks, in reality he didn't actually affect this part of Vortex's economy, because the fishing ships are still operational, but those rams going down is gonna be a lot of resources down the drain for Hera.
Yeah, so Vortex obviously still on the water, even losing those docks. Hera is still on his north water. It does look like Vortex has both sacred sites. I'm not sure when. Oh, it says you are approaching sacred victory. When did he get that?
Just a couple of seconds ago. Yeah. So
okay. So I was like, make sure he didn't miss something.
Should be around 26:15. So Hera has 10 minutes from that point on to neutralize one.
Yeah.
This one, the right side, is wide open, so I wouldn't actually think that he's got a legitimate chance of holding those for 10 minutes. Valiant effort to try and steal that relic over here, but the crossbows will say no to that.
Did he get 3 relics in at any point?
He does have 2.
Two.
There's one over here and one over here. So he could easily get 3, but he's been very, very slow gathering relics for whatever reason.
Does Vortex play Holy Roman Empire? I get this feeling that he does not have the relic sense on him, but maybe he just doesn't care when he's the Roos. I don't know. It's only a little bit of gold, I guess.
It's kind of weird, because if you look at the resource income per minute, now it's better for Hera, so it is actually something that's actively hurting him. He could easily have those relics to start swinging it in his favor, but now, with Hera having some fishing eco on the north, him only having 8 fishing ships obviously hurts as well. I think he needs way more. Now that he has the water in the middle, pop out 15 more fishing ships.
Yeah. Man, this has been a very scrappy game. Like, it's still, like, both players are kind of on their own side of the map. You do see Vortex throwing down some walls finally to the south.
Yeah, I kind of feel like neither of these players have played Nagari a lot, simply because there are some things that could have been done differently, I do believe. So, as you see, you could add a lot more fish here, because there is nothing that's really contesting it right now. Hera, for him, I think the fishing eco is fine, but it's somewhat weird that Vortex isn't collecting relics here. Hera also neutralized the sacred site, so say goodbye to that sacred site victory here.
Yep. Well, I mean, you said that maybe both of them haven't played Nagari. It's quite possible. I mean, I haven't played a lot of Nagari. This is an Alt F4 map. Until recently, honestly, I like the new iteration of it. It's a lot better.
Yeah, I think the old iteration used to have bigger pawns, so there was like a smaller landmass in the middle to move through. So now there is a much more land-heavy map, and it's not about like one narrow choke point in between 2 pawns. You actually have some land combat going on. This being said, it's still a sort of a map that evolves very, very slowly, simply because of these central cliffs. Nice raid on the right side by Vortex, though. For a long time, this is the first villager kills coming in for him.
Yeah, I do need to point out, although we got this big battle going on, crossbows taking shots at the knights. It does look like a significant lancer mass, though. They're going straight into crossbows, which every time they kite and shoot, they're probably taking out a lancer.
But there is some horsemen in here for Hera, and that's a great decision. Horsemen will just absolutely annihilate those crossbows, and you see Vortex is on a full retreat. Horseman Mangonel is the way to go here for him, supported by crossbows, and Vortex definitely got caught off guard by this one. This push might be enough for Hera to win this game.
Yeah, especially if he gets a Mangonel shot off here. I mean, you can't just repop all those crossbows very quickly. And Hera has a big mass of crossbows himself. Just taking out those knights I mean, I think, and he can make more mangonels behind this or more siege. He has the eco for it. Oh, the mangonels are sitting idle right now. They could be taking shots on the crossbows. I don't know if there's something else going on, or perhaps they're just ignoring orders, which they sometimes do. But there we go. Mangonel shot off on some crossbows. Looks like taking about half damage. And villagers getting in on the action. They're heading out for the mangonels.
They have to go for the mangonels here because Vortex is eco and his entire army is just collapsing. Vortex is down to 95 population with only 14 army. Hera is sitting at 61 army, so decisive advantage now for Hera. And while the Sacred Site victory condition has been triggered, I feel like at this point Vortex's base might get steamrolled in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, Hera's looking to be in a really strong position, and he's going to keep sending reinforcements and snowballing here. Now, of course, Vortex is reinforcing. Looking at the eco right now, Vortex has, taps out, and that's going to be it. Hera ties it up 2-2 in this winner stays on series. And I think we've got a match on our hands here. 2-2, best of 7, and Hera really showing that he wants to have a shot at being the champion.
Absolutely. Very well played by Hera, and oftentimes the ability of horsemen to influence Castle Age and Village combat is overlooked. Usually people look at horsemen as like a cheap knight alternative, something that doesn't cost him a lot of gold, but in this scenario, when it's crossbows versus knights, 10 horsemen can be a decision maker, because 10 horsemen will be enough to absorb a lot of arrow fire from crossbows. Crossbows only have bonus damage against knights, but horsemen deal very well with crossbows, and that's exactly what we saw. Hera had some horsemen mixed in, and suddenly those crossbowmen from Vortex just scrambled for defense.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like that match was really like kind of back and forth. Like, remember that giant demo hit on Hera's fishing ships? I mean, that was a huge moment.